out of, in the 80s. But so what's happening here is we get our supplies, our biologics, we call them regenerative biologics, exosome stem cells, whatever we're using, from donors. Now, these donors come from official and proper ethical sourcing through protocols that are approved, and the donors are mothers who are identified in their first trimester as going to have a C-section. For whatever reason, they know they're going to have a C-section. The mothers are screened in the first trimester. They cannot have the COVID vaccine, and it's not because that's known to be harmful necessarily in this setting. It's just because we don't know enough. We don't want to take that chance.
I think that's incredibly smart and makes a lot of sense, because we don't necessarily want mRNA in our donated stem cells that we're injecting into our bodies, because like you said, we don't know. We know a lot. We know a lot more than we did. We already knew some things, but we know that maybe it's best to avoid that, right? Can we say it that way?
Agreed. We are learning some things we don't like here. So at least we don't have that issue necessarily. They're screened. They cannot be smokers, drinkers, drug users. They can only have one romantic partner. And then they're rescreened at the time of delivery. And what happens is the amniotic fluid is collected. Congratulations, here's your baby. Can we have your amniotic fluid? Yes, thank you. They take the amniotic fluid, goes right onto ice. It goes to the lab, and the lab where we purchase these materials does a whole new round of screening. They have quality for the number of exosome particles per sample, quality for the amount of proteins. Because remember, that amniotic fluid is not just exosomes; it's growth factors and all the stuff you might find in PRP. So this product is not a pure exosome product. It's an amniotic fluid concentrated product. They culture it for 2 weeks on quarantine in their freezer, and then they only release if it meets all the criteria. And when we buy it, we get a sample. It goes right into our -30 centigrade freezer, and each sample comes with paperwork. We've tested it for hepatitis and AIDS and everything, and it's clean. So, and I use it on myself and family and in many different ways. But these purified amniotic products are rich in stem cell derived exosomes. They don't have any cells in them. And that's what we're using. It comes, remember, this is fresh frozen. So it's never powdered or lyophilized and have to be reconstituted, because you lose some of the exosomes and you lose all the growth factors and proteins and peptides when you do that.
Right. Very cool. Okay.